Rigby's Roads, Chapter 23, Waiting for Direction. By 1 a.m., everyone was still waiting at Jack's house for some kind of word. Initially, there was a scramble of motorcycles from the parking lot, spread out into the city to try and spot Scarson and his prisoner. The police and the FBI jumped in and made use of their resources. Jack called Bonnie's brother, George, and told him what had happened, and to stay and monitor Bonnie's phone in case Scarson called there. Jack paced back and forth like a caged animal as the FBI hooked up a recording device to his home phone. "Another phone tap?" Jack complained angrily. "The one at the junction box wasn't enough?" Everyone in the room looked at Jack, and most of them had no idea what he was talking about, but the FBI knew and did not respond out loud. Patterson pulled him into the kitchen and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Look, we are doing everything we can at this moment, Jack. Scarson will call because he wants something from you. The tap at the junction box was removed when we got the bag back." Then Patterson paused and asked, "How did you know about that tap?" Jack looked at Patterson and replied, "A little bird told me." Wheels arranged to have some of the food from the party brought to the house. It was an unusual picture in the living room as Red and Yogi sat on the couch talking to Scud. Wheels was instructing Patterson about the line on Jack's table and the meaning of life, while Jack stared at the phone, waiting for it to ring. The hours passed. The phone never rang, and Jack finally fell asleep. The morning sun woke Jack up on the couch, while Yogi slept upstairs. Everyone else had left except for Red and Patterson. Jack sat up, still dazed from the incident, and looked at Patterson for any updates, but he sadly shook his head no. He realized there was nothing new. He had gotten 4 hours of sleep, his head hurt, and he felt like he did when he woke up each morning in Sturgis, only worse. Red pulled Jack up from the couch. "Come on, Jack. Go upstairs, take a shower, and change. I'll make some breakfast." He agreed and went upstairs. It was going to be a long day. When he came back down, he was refreshed, but still groggy from lack of sleep. He sat on the table with Patterson, while Red served bacon and eggs with coffee. Jack worried. What if he doesn't call? Then what? Patterson reported, "He'll call, Jack. We know a lot about this piece of shit. His real name is Jeff Carson, a.k.a. California Jeff, a.k.a. Scarson, born in Altamont, California. He's wanted in 5 states for everything from extortion to armed robbery, assault, rape." Jack cringed at that last word, rape. Patterson knew he should not have mentioned that one, so he changed the subject, trying to cover up his mistake. He proudly bragged, "He's on our most wanted list, Jack. Top 100. Jack erupted. "He's on your most wanted list? And he was at the party last night, and you never noticed him?" Patterson snapped back. "You saw him yourself, but didn't recognize him without his eye patch." "Calm down, boys," Red interrupted. "Arguing ain't going to do any good." Jack's house phone rang, and everybody froze. He started to go pick it up, but Patterson shook his finger. Then he clicked on the recording device and picked up a set of headphones, and then gave Jack the nod. "Hello?" He waited patiently for an answer. "Good morning, Doc. Sleep well last night?" "I know I did." "That's one fine woman you have there." Jack screamed into the phone, "If you ever touch one hair on her, you're dead. I'll kill you myself." "Shut up, you little turd, and listen carefully. I want that fucking bag, and I want you to deliver it to me, personally, alone." Jack was furious. "It's a goddamn bag. What the hell do you want it for?" "Just a bag, Doc? Just a bag? Because of that bag, Kang is dead. 5 members of our club are in jail, looking at 25 to life, and my existence ain't worth shit right now. Now listen up. I'll call you at noon with the details about where we'll meet. If you ever want to see your old lady again, you'll bring me that fucking bag, and don't call the police. Understand?" Click. The phone went dead. Jack looked at Patterson. "Where's the bag?" Patterson looked at Red, then back at Jack, and he answered slowly, "Washington." Jack shouted in anguish. "Washington? Washington? You have to get that bag back here today. I need it. Get on the phone. Make a call. Get that bag flown back here now." Patterson was about to tell him that would be impossible. as that bag was going through an intense examination, looking at every piece of dust inside every layer of its structure. But one look at Red, and Patterson knew he had to make the call, or at least try. Okay, I'll call him and let him know what's going on. Patterson left the room and went outside to the backyard for a private conversation on his phone. Red put her hands on Jack's shoulders and massaged them. It's going to be all right, Jack. Now we know what he wants, and the process has started. Jack shook his head. But what about Bonnie? That animal is going to... He faded off, not wanting to finish the sentence. A tear fell down his cheek, followed by another. This is all my fault. None of this would have ever happened if I just shot myself. Red looked at him with a shocked look on her face. She was stunned. She didn't know how to respond to that statement. Jack had no idea he even said it out loud. He was staring off into space, mumbling to himself, or so he thought. Patterson came in from outside. They won't release the bag. It's all in pieces anyway. It's still being examined. Jack came out of his stupor and asked sarcastically in a menacing voice, Still being examined, huh? Got a lot of clues there, do you? Causing your agents a lot of paperwork, huh? Well, how much more paperwork will you have if more people get killed? 'Cause that's what I'm going to do if I don't get Bonnie back. Patterson took a deep breath. Jack, my hands are tied on this. I can't force the issue. Well, who can? You told me that you've been talking to the president. Or were you only dropping his name to make this whole ordeal sound more important than it really is? Look, Jack, I have my orders. I can't pick up the phone and just call the president directly. Jack stared at Patterson and shamed him. So you're giving up? Patterson was frustrated. Well, what do you want me to do, Jack? How about give me some direction here? Direction? Me? Give you direction? Jack shook his head in frustration, and then he quieted down and went into one of his focused thinking trances, searching for alternatives. Patterson said something, and so did Red, but Jack didn't hear them. He was running a self-imposed brainstorming session in the deepest part of his brain. His eyes were wild, dancing back and forth, looking for answers. He was in another world. Finally, after a few minutes, he shared an idea. You mentioned the bag was in pieces? Then how about you get us the one side with the kangaroo art on it? We could get a bag that looks like it and put that one panel on it. He's not going to look at it that close. Hell, he doesn't even want the bag. The bag will get me in the door. He only wants me. He paused and then added slowly, He wants to kill me. Patterson made another phone call from the other room, and Red could hear him shouting, I don't care. This is a national security issue, and we'll have it back to you by tonight. If it's not on a fighter jet in 15 minutes, your name will be highly featured in its own paragraph in my report to the president. Now get it from Langley and get it on that plane now. Red walked up to Patterson and patted him on his shoulder. Thanks. That was a good thing you just did. Patterson responded. I don't know what you're talking about. He grinned and walked away. Red started to leave. Well, I have some shopping to do. I need to find a look-alike bag to make this operation work. I'll see you guys later. Jack shook his head and looked at Patterson. How the hell did you let him escape that night at the Poker Palace? Patterson defended himself. Jack, there were over 200 people in that room. You were there. Everything went crazy. We were not set up for containment. Our focus was to recover the bag. We realized at the last minute it looked like things could get out of hand, so we put our vests on, and we called for backup. But it was too late, and all hell broke loose. I spotted Henry before he went in, and told him not to go in, but he insisted. So that's when we vested him up, and he went inside. Nobody ever thanked me for that. Thank you, Jack apologized. I thank you for all that you and your team have done, and I'm sorry for the way I came across, although you have been a complete asshole at times. Well, I guess it's better than being an incomplete asshole, Patterson said with a slight smile, trying to get him to lighten up a bit. The hours went by slowly. Red returned with a bag that was almost exactly like the original, but it had a reinforced bottom and a luggage tag that she cut off. Patterson was asleep on the couch, and his partner, Blythe, had taken his shift. Yogi, Wheels, and Big Tony had returned, and Jack fell asleep on the other side of the couch, only to be awakened by the delivery of the kangaroo panel from Washington. It made the trip door to door in less than 2.5 hours and was delivered by an Air Force general. Red went to work and surgically altered the new bag by doing a transplant of the old panel to its new place. It looked good, except for one glaring point. It still looked like new. She took the bag outside, rubbed it in the dirt, walked on it, and banged it against a tree. Now it looked less new. The phone rang and broke the silence as they all jumped up. Blythe turned on the recorder, and Jack answered. "Hello? Hey, Doc. It's almost time. I wanted to give you a heads up on what to expect. You're going to have to ride your motorcycle to the meeting place." Jack was impatient and shouted, "Where?" "Never mind where. That's not important now. I'll call you in 30 minutes to tell you where the first stop is." "First stop?" "Quit interrupting and listen. I'm giving you directions to another phone where I'll call you with the next step. Understand? It's my way of checking on you to make sure nobody is following you. I don't want no surprises." "Any," Jack corrected him. "What? You don't want any surprises?" "That's what I said, asshole." Jack was growing annoyed. "I want to speak to Bonnie first. Put her on the phone." "No. If you don't put her on the phone by the count of 3, I'm hanging up and calling the police. 1, you ain't got the balls. 2, you call the cops and you'll be sorry. 3, go fuck yourself." He ended the call. Everyone in the room looked at him with their mouths wide open in disbelief. They were about to say something when the phone rang. Jack let it ring 3 times before he picked it up. "Hello?" he answered calmly, in a manner as if he had no idea who it was. "Listen here, you fucking turd. You ain't in no position to—" Click. Jack hung up again, being arrogant about the whole thing. He had been pushed over the edge, fed up, and he had no more patience to play this game. The phone rang again. And Jack let it ring 3 more times again before he picked it up. "Hello? Jack, it's Bonnie. Don't hang up. Bonnie, are you okay? Did he hurt you?" "I'm frightened, Jack. Jack felt sick to his stomach, and he could feel her pain, even though she didn't even mention anything. "I'll be all right. You need to be careful. Scarson has a gun. He says he's—" Scarson took over the phone and barked. "Now that we have that shit settled, I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Click. This time he hung up on Jack. Blythe assured him, at every stop, that he's planning for you. He'll have someone watching. We need to come up with a plan. As they sat there thinking about their next move, the phones rang. Red, Big Tony, Wheels, and Yogi all realized it was their wife phones that were ringing, not the other phones. Yogi smiled and shouted, "We got 'em now. We can hear them, but they can't hear us." Jack caught on quickly. "Scarson is using my wife phone, the one I gave to Bonnie last night, to talk to Yogi." Patterson asked, "Jack, what's going on?" And everyone shushed them. Shh! They all opened their phones, and those without phones partnered up with those that did, listening in on the call. They listened as Scarson talked to one of his men. "Rocco, it's me, Scarson. Bring the boys down to the Renaissance Festival in Larkspur, at the employee entrance. I got that son of a bitch Doc coming down here. We're leaving tonight after we waste him. We'll do it at the last joust of the day in front of a few thousand people. That'll make the escape easier. Later." The FBI agents who were listening in all looked at each other, very confused. What just happened here? How the hell can he make a private phone call and it rings on all your phones? "Scarson took my wife phone from Bonnie," Jack explained. "He tried to make a regular call, and you can't do that because of the way it has been programmed," Yogi explained. "I programmed that phone to call my other phones. Not a big deal." Blythe was writing down what Yogi said in his notebook and was shaking his head, unable to understand the technology marvel that he just witnessed. He turned to Patterson and whispered, "We need to get this kid. He has to join us." Patterson turned to Yogi. "Do you mean to tell me that you have a phone system that can—" Wheels interrupted him.
"Gentlemen, we have a half-hour head start. I suggest we take advantage of it. We know the meeting place, so let's get down there and get into position before Jack arrives."
"Wait a minute," Patterson explained. "I can't authorize you to go down there."
"You don't have to. We're going, and if you say another word about it, I'll have Big Tony sit on you."
Patterson looked up at Big Tony and sensibly agreed. "All right, let's move," Wheels added.
"There's a place near the entrance of the festival where you can rent medieval costumes for the day. We can use those disguises to blend in with the crowd."
Blythe set Jack up with a bulletproof vest. He turned to the rest of the room and apologized. "We only had one extra vest with us. Sorry." Wheels joked.
"That's okay. I've already been shot once this month, so I've already reached my quota."
End chapter 23.